The American Trucking Association works hard to keep their drivers' wages low. The less they pay their drivers, the more money there is for the ATA and their CEO members. Here are 5 separate ways the ATA carriers keep their drivers' wages low. Number 1, pay systems. The ATA continues and insists on using 2 separate pay systems, either the paid by the mile system or the percentage system. And they like these 2 systems because both of them are easy to chop down. They chop down the miles on the pay by the mile system simply by paying the driver for fewer miles than he's actually driven. If the trip is 1,200 miles, for instance, they'll pay the driver 1,100. It's very easy for the carriers to chew down that mileage and get away with it without the drivers noticing it. On the percentage system, they simply say that the load paid less than what it actually did. And these days, it's virtually impossible to get an original bill from a shipper to show what the true value of the rate paid was. There's been an ongoing fight over this, but so far, it's extremely difficult to get through an honest paperwork. Number 2, lease operator programs. Big mega ATA carriers love lease programs for drivers. They don't have to pay for the truck, they don't have to pay for the operating costs, they don't have to pay for the fuel, and they manage to scrape profit out of all the loads the truck rolls. They pass all the costs on to the driver. So at the time the ATA carriers take their lease payments, take the fuel, take all of that stuff out, the driver is left with virtually no money in his pocket. It's a negative balance on the page. Check out my video on why I don't like these lease operator programs. Number 3, cheap labor. ATA mega carriers will go out of their way to hire inexperienced